The recklessness of addiction. Now, why is alcohol and why is drinking so reckless? We can't see it when we're stuck in it. We are wrapped up in it. We're enjoying it. We think we are. We're having fun with it. And then all of a sudden, you wake up one day and you're like, is this my life? This is my life. I'm choosing to drink. I'm choosing a reckless life, one that's filled with shame and regret and guilt. And I don't want to live that way anymore. I'm tired of it. Since I quit drinking, I went from a life with no direction to a life filled with intention. I wake up every day with goals, ambition. I've shedded the anxiety and the drinking, and I got rid of all that pain and anguish that I didn't know why I was even here. My purpose is back. I feel like when I wake up in the morning, there's a reason for me to get out of bed. And it's not just to make YouTube videos, but it's about bringing glory to God's kingdom, bringing His glory to Him, serving God with intentionality, and living life the way that I'm supposed to live it. Not drinking, not hungover, not thinking about alcohol 24/7, which is what addiction is: obsession with drinking. If you're in your 20s and 30s and you just don't feel like you understand life yet, maybe you are just going through the motions. You don't really understand what's the purpose. Why are we even here? I can relate to that. That's what I was like in my 20s, especially. In my 30s, I kind of like grew out of that a little bit and I felt like I knew my purpose more. But it really wasn't until I was in my early 40s and I quit drinking that I really started to see that there is more to life than just getting drunk all the time. I know it's fun. I know it seems fun, but there comes a time in your life, and that might be in your 20s. It was for me. I knew that alcohol was a problem, but I did it anyway because I didn't really feel like I had anything to lose. I didn't have anybody. I didn't have people counting on me. I didn't have goals. I didn't really have ambitions. So I just kind of drank that away. And washing that kind of opened my eyes to what I do have, what I did have in my life. Like I said, I quit drinking in my early 40s. I was 42. And looking back on my days now, I know that I had to go through those hard times to get to where I am now. I know I had to go through the drinking and the self-loathing and the waking up without any purpose. I know I had to go through all that to see what life is really like without all that baggage, because that's really all it is. It's just baggage. It's holding us back. So if you're in your 20s and your 30s, take solace in the fact that you're here, that you're watching this. I'm so glad that you're here. Now, when I was a teenager and even into my 20s and 30s, I tried to live like it was my last day. But a lot of times, my last day involved alcohol. And alcohol was my end all be all. It was my go to. It was the thing that I craved most. My last day involved drinking. But when I got rid of my drinking and I healed, I took the time to really reflect on that. And now I look at the last day of my life like it matters because I have intentions. I have purpose. And I didn't have that as a drinker. I was willing to give everything I had over to my addiction. And that just hurts. It hurts. It's painful to carry that baggage around all the time. And if you're in your especially if you're in your 40s and you're still carrying that around and the hangovers are starting to get worse, you know what it feels like Now you're on the fence. Now you're just wondering, do I want to continue on with this? Is this really what I want to do? I mean, that's really what I ended up finding out during the pandemic was that I sat there drunk 10 beers in and thought to myself, is this all there is? Is this it? This can't be it because this is depressing. There's nothing on TV. There's no new movies, no sports, no shows. I already ran through all the Netflix shows, Tiger King and House of Cards and all those shows. And I'm just like, man, this is it. This is all I have. So you want to live like it's your last day. And if you're in your 40s, you know what I'm saying. You just want to start living. And that's really what quitting drinking allows that to happen for you. What do I mean that everything gets easier when you quit drinking and you're able to get through the addiction and get over it and start to recover? What does that mean exactly? Well, when we're drinking, we're constantly in a cycle of repetitive thinking, ruminations, urges. For me, I woke up at 3 a.m. a lot of times with the racing heart and indigestion and worry about what I said the day before. What is my day going to be like today? And I may or may not get back to sleep, but I'd wake up 7 in the morning and I didn't feel great. I felt groggy. If I'm not working that day, I might go back to bed. If I'm going to work, I'm going to work and I do my day. And 10 to 1, I didn't drink as much the day before if I had to work the next day, but so I wasn't quite as hungover. But if I didn't work the next day, I knew that I was drinking more than I normally would. And I would just wake up, do my responsibilities with the dogs, and if my daughter needed anything, and then I might take a nap for a half an hour or an hour and need to go back to sleep. And as the day would go on, you'd have these anxious feelings. You'd feel anxiety if you were hungover, regret. Then there was most days you would start to feel better around lunchtime, and you might start that thinking about drinking again all over again, and you just try to forget about how bad it made you feel. And then you start getting that dopamine rush of the good feelings that alcohol can bring you, the quieting the voices, the repetition of just of thinking how good alcohol is. And then you finally get to drink, and you drink one after another, and you start to get fuzzy and fade out, and you start to forget again about all the problems that you had. If you're in your 30s and 40s, like I was, with a family, you might start worrying that you're saying things that you are going to regret. So if you have to say you're sorry all the time, that gets old. And that's what happened for me. It got old, explaining how my behavior. I got tired of saying I'm sorry all the time. You might forget what they're telling you. You might forget things that they say to you, and then you say something later, and they're like, "Yeah, remember I told you that?" And you're like, "Not really, no." It makes you forget. So then you get to the end of your drinking, or you're in the middle of your blacking out, and you're watching something or you're listening to something, and the next day, and when you wake up in the morning, you don't even remember half the movie that you watched because you were blacking in and out of it. And that's what it's like with life. If you're constantly blacking out and you're forgetting what your family's saying to you, saying things that you wouldn't normally say when you're sober, that's a problem. I recently heard someone say, if your behavior is making you have to say I'm sorry, then you got to change that behavior. And the drinking was the biggest part of that. Getting rid of that didn't solve everything, but it solved a lot. I mean, it solved a lot. I sometimes lament the fact that this channel is just about sobriety and faith. It feels weird to say just about faith or just about sobriety because those two things are so important They're the foundation of my life, the foundation of this channel. But it's so much more than that. And I do make videos about mental health. In fact, I have a playlist on that, but it's not like the like the cornerstone of this. But I do want to share that it's about more than faith and sobriety. It's about um, mental health. It's about combating low self-esteem, low self-worth. It's about fighting depression, fighting through anxiety, figuring out ways to cope with life. I needed therapy. I needed a sober group. I needed medication for a while. I needed my wife. I needed support. I couldn't do it by myself. I couldn't get sober. All the times that I tried before, the reason why I failed was because I didn't realize that support and community was going to be the key to getting and staying sober for long term. I could do it on sheer willpower. Any of us can do that for a short period of time. I usually went a week without it, but then I'd forget about the bad things that alcohol made me feel, and then I'd only think about the good things, and then I'd start drinking again, and it was exciting. And in fact, I'd drink more after that week was up. This is about getting sober and learning how to cope with life without alcohol. There's more to it. I met my faith a couple years into my sobriety. It didn't happen right away. I begged God to take me out of my addiction at the beginning, and He did a couple weeks later during the pandemic. But it wasn't until like a couple years into it that I really started to focus on my faith, find a church, find a pastor, find leadership, find that aspect of my sobriety. Since then, it's just been one blessing after another. I offer free guidance and free support not only on this channel, but I have a group on Facebook. It's a free group. I can help with you for guidance and support in your sobriety. It's called Sobriety in the Storm. I'll pin the link in the comments below. It's a group of like-minded people just like you and I that are just trying to live alcohol free, live a sober life, maybe grow in your faith. But I can offer that assistance to you, and I'm on there 24/7, like I said, so I can help you with that. Also, I have a sobriety playlist that I'll pin in the comments below. Check that out. That may help you resonate with you as far as your sobriety goes, especially if you're in your 20s, 30s, and 40s. Then even older, 50s, 60s, 70s. I mean, there's never a bad time to give up alcohol. I know there's a lot of retired people out there. Maybe you're retired, you're bored, you're looking for things to do. Alcohol is still present in your life, but you don't want it to be because you want to value and cherish this time that you have now to yourself and with your family or your spouse or whoever, your friends. You want to give your best. You want to feel your best, and you just want to enjoy this time that you've earned. There's never a bad time to give up alcohol. If you're young in your 20s, that's even better. You can live a whole life without it. I don't even want to say without it because you're not missing anything. There's tons of alcohol that they've extracted the alcohol out of beer, wine, and spirits that I know the beer tastes exactly the same, the NA stuff, as the alcohol versions. You're just missing the buzz, but you're really not missing that because you can drink a beer or two, get in the car and drive, or have a conversation with people, or watch a movie and not black out. You can go to a luncheon, you can have one or two of these NA beers. They taste exactly the same. They hit the spot, and then you move on with your day. I didn't drink like a normal drinker would drink. I was one after another. I wasn't like one or two and then be done. But with the NA stuff, that's what I am. I don't even crave it, but if I have one, I enjoy it. And then if I enjoy it, I might have another one. But then I'm full and I feel fine and I'm ready to move on with my day. But if you found value in this video, please like and subscribe, support the channel. If you need support, like I said, join my Facebook group or comment in the comment section below. Anything that you want to talk about, let's get some camaraderie going on this channel. We can help one another out, stay sober, because that's what this is all about, living a better life. Have a great day, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.